Alright! Hey everybody! Welcome to this sketchbook drawing session that I did. So, I started this when I was sick up in my bedroom, so that's why you got that tiny little shot of my initial sketch. I started filming for real when I brought it downstairs after I was feeling better. So, here I am, sketching with a red coal erase pencil. I didn't really plan this drawing at all. I was just like, I'm gonna draw Vin, because I was rereading Mistborn. I just finished it a couple days ago. And so I did. I drew Vin, and it went a lot smoother than I expected it to, with absolutely zero planning. Yeah. I didn't speed up the sketching process here, but I do speed up when I start coloring because I didn't figure any of you wanted to be here for like 8 years. This took me several days, so while this video is called Sketchbook Session, it was actually like 5 to 6 sessions, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Here's this slightly janky hand that looks fine anyway, even if secretly I know that that finger is shaped weird. It's also fine. Yeah. So, I read Mistborn for the first time, like, 10 years ago, and I'm obsessed with the Stormlight Archive, and I just, after I finished Wind and Truth earlier, in December, I'm recording this in March, by the way. I was like, wow, there's a lot of important stuff that ties into Mistborn, so I read Mistborn again. And I just kind of figured it would be really fun to draw in, so yeah. There's the finished sketch, all done. I scanned it just in case I ended up hating the coloring. Did some erasing here to lighten it up just a little bit. Coal erase doesn't erase that well, honestly, if we're being completely honest here. Coloring with Ohuhu markers. I got my Copics out too, but I don't think I used them, so oh well. I feel like she looks super yellow with the marker to start with, but that's okay. It ends up looking pretty good with the colored pencil later. Yeah, so I love seeing other people do like colored pencil on top of marker or watercolor, and I was like, wow, I should try that, even though I probably have before, just never super consciously or with much purpose. And I'm kind of in this very experimental phase with all of my art, so I figured I'd give it a go, and oh my gosh, as a sketchbook experiment with zero planning, I really like how this turned out, so. And I definitely want to do more art like this, so look forward to that, I guess. Maybe I'll do more Stormlight characters like this. I will do more Stormlight characters in general, though, so don't worry about that. So much layering. So much layering. Gonna be real with you about Mistborn. I feel like it's a really good story. I give it 4 stars out of 5, but it's definitely harder to get into than I remembered. The first book starts really slow. Don't come at me. I love it. Sazed's one of my favorite characters, but wow. Yeah, I do definitely think Stormlight Archive is my favorite overall, but it's fine. It all ties together. Everything's fine. I say that so much. Sorry. Yeah, I have to say, like, probably my favorite characters from Stormlight are probably Tensoon and Sazed. I have a Monstera named Sazed, so yeah, I named all my plants. Sazed was an excellent name, so. It's also a very tall Monstera now, so it works out. Sazed's supposed to be tall, right? Some pink highlights, undertone in the skin here. Started there. I don't know why this is slower than the other clips, but that's fine. Hair beginnings here. And wow, I gotta say, like, I hadn't used markers for so much detail work in such a long time, and the tips are just, like, they have a really fine point, but they're so soft, and yeah, it's hard to do delicate work with them. I gotta be real with you. Which is why part of me wants to try doing this with watercolor as the more base tones. Also, that would be more light fast. This isn't a sketchbook, I'm not worried about it, but if I ever wanted to do like art that I'm gonna sell, which I do want to do that at some point, I kind of figured doing watercolor underneath the colored pencil for this illustrative style would be better, just because it's going to be more light fast. And yeah, I do believe M and I are having the same thought process on that. M Rulo Art, one of my favorite people on here. You should definitely check her out. I'm gonna put a link right in the video now. Yeah, no sponsors, just like her a lot. But yeah, I want to try that for sure in the future. As far as sketchbook stuff goes though, definitely markers, no problem. But wow, detailing is hard. The marker portion of doing the mist cloak took forever. Just took forever. As you will see a little bit later. I did this sash really bright blue because I wanted a pop of color and kind of a nod to Vin's liking super pretty dresses and stuff. Just, you know, both sides of her. The decoration in there looks like gold, but it's not metal. We're gonna pretend that it's wood or fabric tassels or something. She's not wearing metal. This is my first little bit of colored pencil just in the hair, and I was like immediately like, yes, I like this. This is excellent. I did ultimately decide though to wait to do more colored pencil after this until I finished with all the marker. So here I am going into the background with this really nice dark blue. Oh look, a Copic. I did use a Copic. Okay. I did in the end though decide that there wasn't enough contrast. Like right here there's a lot of contrast, but once I do the shading and stuff in the cloak and the clothes, it's really hard. Yeah, there's less contrast. And I didn't like it, so I do go over this with a really light blue colored pencil later, but you know, I didn't plan any of this. I just was having fun, which was really nice and something I haven't really done for a really long time with something this detailed. So that was really good. I like this so much for just a random sketchbook thing that I just kind of started and did on a whim. So yeah, it's always nice when that happens, right? I do really like the texture that you get with marker though, even by itself, like that slightly grainy texture. I bet there are people that hate that a lot. I actually really like it, and you can see it better with the Ohuhu on the top of her cloak as opposed to in the blue background, but that cloak looks nice. And then I cover it all up later with pencils, but that was kind of the goal, so, you know. I might have got details wrong. Like, I don't remember actually what was holding her cloak clasp shut. I remember it being mentioned, but I was too lazy to go look, so, you know, whatever. It's fine. Starting the shading on the cloak, this took such a long time. It was such a very long time. It did end up being very worth it though. I feel like the, like I was thinking that the colored pencil portion of that later was going to take just as long, and it didn't, and I think that that's because I took the time to do it really well with the markers. So, you know, preliminary stuff makes later stuff easier, usually if you are thorough. Not that I was planning that at all. I did all of this flying by the seat of my pants, much less gracefully than Vin is flying. So, also, if you're just here because you like the art and you haven't read any of Brandon Sanderson's work, I highly recommend it. So, there you go. If you like fantasy, you should check that out. So this sleeve right here, that one sleeve there, I just feel like it turned out really nice. And I hope that you're looking forward to seeing more of that, because it's nice. Which is very silly, but it's fine. I googled what color Vin's eyes are, and the internet said that they're brown, but also blue. But most people think that they're dark, so I went with dark eyes later. But weird though, like normally that's such a thing for authors to mention is the eye color, and I don't think Vin's eye color is ever mentioned. I don't think anybody's eye color is ever mentioned. Kelsier's might be, but I don't actually remember. Glass daggers. Those are probably a little bit too exciting shaped for carrying around under a mist cloak, but it's creative license. And here we go with the beginning of colored pencils, and they magically change color in my hands every few seconds. It's really fun. This misty violet lavender lilac color, the really light one, I really like the additional, I just really like what that did for this whole piece. I outlined everything in this really dark purple here that I was just using there, because I didn't want just the red lines from the coal erase. I wanted darker outlines, but not in ink. Here we go. And I love how that looks. I have inked every marker piece I've ever done before this, probably, and I'm not gonna, even my colored pencil stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I far prefer this colored pencil outlining so much. It just, the texture is nice, and it just works for me. I really, really like it. And again, this misty lilac color, I just feel like gives everything a really nice effect. And this foot here, I love this foot. I like both her feet, okay, but I really like her left foot. I don't know. It just turned out really nice. Especially because I did not use reference for any of this. I planned to, and then I was sick, and I was like, I'm just gonna try and do a drawing and see if I like it, and then I did, and so that was nice. Love it when that happens. Here we go back into the sleeve. Again, I really like this sleeve. Magic colored pencil switching! These are Prismacolor pencils, by the way, that I've had since I was like 13, so maybe like 15? Yeah. Anyway, I'm 35 now, so they're like 20-year-old pencils. Some of them have been replaced, but more likely the gray ones than anything purple. Because I've done lots of pet portraits with colored pencil, so haha. Needed to replace those. As for a light source, it's kind of coming from her left, but I honestly didn't think about it that hard. I just was like, I just wanted to look cool. I didn't care. So if I were actually planning an illustration and going into it with a purpose other than just see if I like colored pencil and marker together and film a fun video, then I would definitely plan my light source better. Here I was just like, this looks nice. And yeah, so just be aware of that. I wasn't too fussed about it. Mist cloak tassels. I feel like overall I might have done the mist cloak too dark. I feel like it would just generally be a really light gray, as that's the color of the mist, but I don't know. What's your opinion on the color of mist cloaks? For those of you who have read these books. I just restarted Era 2 of Mistborn as well. I'm only like 25% of the way into book 1 again, but I'm excited. I love Wayne. And I forgot so much from the first series. I didn't remember so many things. So I'm really glad I reread them. And y'all, Demu from Stormlight Archive is also in Mistborn. He's my friend pointed it out to me. Sorry if I'm spoilering, but Captain Demu, that I don't know if he's captain in Stormlight, but he's one of Adolin's soldier dudes. And my friend pointed out to me, like, wait, that's the same name as the guy in Mistborn, because she's super familiar with Mistborn, and I had read it forever. I was like, wait, really? Sure enough, yep, pretty sure it's the same guy. So, sorry if I just ruined something for someone, but since none of us know how he got there or why, I don't really think it's a spoiler. Signature time! Alright, if you guys like this and want to see more stuff like this, let me know. Please comment, subscribe, like. I hugely appreciate it, and this has been fun. Here's the final with some... Oh my gosh, I just like it. I like it a lot. For unplanned sketchbook thing. It's just fun. Yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye!